What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, we're going to talk about whether or not the NASDAQ just bottomed last trade on the Qs, 460, just after 10:30 a.m. outside of Atlanta, Georgia. So the obvious question of this day is, if I actually think we're in the midst of one of the biggest secular bull markets in human history, why in the world are guys like Ray Dalio calling for a 60% crash before the end of the year? All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back for my once or twice duty on YouTube. I'm going to give you 10 to 15 minutes of everything I got, including investing long-term for retirement and trading short-term for profit. But if you want to join us inside of our private Discord community, you go to shopsmallbiz.com, get a Discord. If you don't have a small biz, that's 2/3 of our members. Premium, if you do, one more time, shopsmallbiz.com. And yes, despite some clown trying to say that I'm doing something illegal and you know who the fuck you are, it is not illegal for a guy who's been trading 30 years. Half of that is a licensed broker from 93 to 07 to gather folks from all over the world. 444 strong. God bless Vince for that angel number. Somebody tell me in the comments what that means. It's not illegal for us to gather and share ideas in real time. You control your own money. You have access to your brokerage account, not me. So for all you out there hating on the guy with one fucking loss in almost 11 months, one loss. And if I sold the other two stocks that I'm slightly down on at the moment, I'd still have over a 97% win rate. So how the fuck are you doing? And by the way, before I forget, to the clown who called me the other day, in case you haven't heard me a time or two, I live in Atlanta. Not hard to find. So if you want to chop my head off, now that we've got a written and voice record of your fucking nonsense, go for it. Smith, Wesson, and myself will be waiting on you. Ladies and gentlemen, for the vast majority of you that are sane, I can help make you rich. Rich is relative. But in my opinion, sorry, Ray, we ain't going to see a fucking 60% crash. Last trade, 460 and a quarter. In fact, as I said all morning long inside of the private Discord, in my sixth video of the day, I do one or two of these every week on YouTube, folks. I do 5 or 6 videos every fucking day inside of the Discord. Chart patterns, interest rates, crypto, core holdings, 7 of which we own currently with some cash. One loss in 10 months. I was telling people all week long, all morning long, 460 on the Qs is your first trigger to buy. Then 455. I think I saw a low at 455.63. So we may have missed that second bucket. But I'm going to give you a 75% chance that the worst is over. We just had a 9.5% correction from the top of 503 in the Qs. The IWM small cap is 2 weeks or thereabouts into a massive bull market. The first time it's really broken out in the last 4 or 5 years. Flying cars and trips to fucking Mars. But most of your money, 80% or thereabouts, 70, 60 if you're like myself, if you're super aggressive, should be married to the market. Index funds and ETFs. Why? Number one, there's a 90% chance that you cannot beat the S&P 500 every single year. Only 10% of investors and traders do. So if something is that hard to beat, why not join it? And secondly, every 3 or 4 years when you do have a bear market, most of you are going to panic. Why? You don't know where the bottom is, and most importantly, perhaps, you don't know what to buy. That's why index funds and ETFs, SPY, QQQ, and IWM, 2,600 companies and 3 easy to manage instruments is the way to go. You don't have to wonder, oh my God, is it Tesla? Is it Google? Is it Amazon? Is it Nvidia? Which I do think that gap at 95 to 100 is the place in which you get long, but it may not get there. You don't have to worry about that if you have a basket approach, whether you dollar cost average or you're like myself, you own ETFs and you look for the correction, which happens once or twice a year, or the bear market of minus 20% or more every 3 or 4 years, and you add to SPY, QQQ, IWM. No panic. No worry. It's coming. It's coming. You might be coming. Every year or two, once or twice a year, hey. You want nonsense like this all day long instead of just once or twice a week? Go to shopsmallbiz.com. We started off as a small business directory. We have 23,000 strong. About 2% of them pay to get in there, not just to learn how to make money in the market as an investor and a trader, but to promote their business inside of our virtual business channel. And as I just said in the Discord about a half hour ago, I'm launching a directory in the private community. We have guys like right over here, Todd, Holton's Rustic Flags. Holton's Rustic Flags. You can find him on Facebook and Etsy. He's sold a dozen of those. They're $250 or $60 a pop. He's made more money in the last few months inside of a private community with people who really care about him and his family than he probably ever will on Facebook or fucking Twitter, currently known as X. You got to get in with people who have money, that are willing to spend it, and really care about you as a person, as is the case when we hang out in the Trader Lounge, laughing, crying, rising, and motherfucking falling together as one. So in closing, it's very important that you have most of your money married to the market. Index funds, ETFs. If you have no discipline and you're scared of your own shadow, index fund. Just dollar cost average the same day every month. When you get a correction of minus 5 to 10%, maybe even more on occasion in a given year, maybe your $100 becomes $125. Every 3 or 4 years when we drop 20% or more, and I'm going to be there to hold your hand, average length 9.6 months, average drawdown 37%, 40 of them since 1900. I know how this game is played. But as long as you buy and hold with most of your money, you dollar cost average, you average down or what we call add small into weakness, and then you fuck around and find out with 20 or 30% of your money, you're going to be stacking cash to the ceiling. And anybody who doesn't understand what I'm talking about, they're the ones that are out hating on us. Go inside our new trades channel. You'll find 3% loss in the last 10 and a half months. One. And a half hour after I sold it, it fucking tripled. BENF. So yes, it was a mistake to reload the Kraken. The CEO has no credibility. He hasn't bought stock. They're still diluting and/or we're facing nonstop selling pressure from the Keystone Cops who got 300 million shares before the reverse split. I own that one. That's my mistake. I fucked up putting my hand back in that cookie jar for a second time. But even if I sold the 2 or 3 stocks were down because the other 4 are doing just fine inside of our core holdings, we'd still have a 97% win rate, well over 100, and I think 20 wins and less than a half a dozen losses. Do you know anybody else that's doing better than that? Do you know anybody else that owns, as I shared inside of the Discord, the Q's at 107, last trade 461.25? Do you know anyone that owns the fucking SPY at around 200, last trade, what is that, 532.5? Do you? Do you? No, you don't. I'm not here to do this. I'm here to help you do this. So in closing, I think I said that already. Do yourself a favor. Go to shopsmallbiz.com. You do not need a small business to join us. Get inside of a private community of almost 500 strong. Give them a chance to take a genuine interest in you and your success. And lean on me. I've made all the mistakes in the last 30 years so that you don't have to. And yes, if you got a small business, get a premium account so I can promote the shit out of you like this guy right here, Todd from Holton's Rustic Flags. Get yourself one. You'll be glad you did. And until next time, always remember that I love you. And thank you so very much for watching. I think we bottomed.